That's the Chiefs and the Bengals. I know you love your Bengals, so I'm going to let you go first.
Yeah, I love the Bengals in this game. They're in Cincinnati. The Kansas City Chiefs played well against the Rams, but I still think there are enough holes at receiver where it's like it feels like they have a ton of guys that can make plays and they have a huge stable of playmakers, but I haven't seen one guy come out and be able to take over a big game yet. I can point to the game versus the Bills. The Chargers game, Kelsey took over. But I still think the Bengals defense, it's playing at its peak right now. You just beat the Titans, who you beat in the playoffs. The Bengals have not lost to you. And Joe Burrow is someone where it's like, well, Patrick Mahomes is going to want to win this game because he's never beat Joe Burrow. Well, it's like Joe Burrow's going to want to stay undefeated against Patrick Mahomes. He's trying to win a tough division versus the Baltimore Ravens. So if he seals this win, it opens up the door for the Bengals getting the number 1 seed. And then the Chiefs have pretty much wrapped up their division. Jamar Chase comes back in this game. So the Bengals with Jamar Chase, heavy favorite for me. Honestly, heavy favorite. Without Jamar Chase, still think they win. And I think they have the tools to exploit the Chiefs defense. I just think the Bengals are hotter right now. I know the Chiefs beat the Rams, but I felt like that was kind of I don't know. That's a
cupcake game.
It was a cupcake game, and their offense only put up 26 points, which I don't like. I felt like that was a game where their offense should have exploded to a higher degree than it should have. So I feel like this is going to be one of the best games of the year because it was last year and it was in the conference championship. But it's just like I don't have a reason to pick the Chiefs in this game right now.
I do. I have a reason to pick the Chiefs. I think their defense is the best that it's been in the Patty Mahomes era.
Right.
So the thing I take away first of all, this game is going to be close, obviously. This over-under to me screams under. 52 points. I think that with the way the Bengals defense is played and the way that the Chiefs defense is played, I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as people might think. Jamar Chase is coming off of a hip injury, so he might not be 100% coming into this game. But as far as this game's concerned, I think the key to this game will be how the Bengals plan to contain Travis Kelce. Because I think the Chiefs, they're going to have to contain Jamar Chase, right? The Bengals, I think the receivers on the Chiefs, I think they'll have an easier time containing them. But Travis Kelce is the root of this game for them. Travis Kelce is probably the only player. You talk about, the loss of Tyreek Hill and their ability to be contained. I think Travis Kelce is that guy that can take over games for them. I think the Chiefs know that if they win this game, I think they'll pretty much clinch the number 1 seed if they do so.
Yeah.
It's really the Bengals breathing down their neck and the Dolphins. Dolphins might lose against the 49ers. So I like the Chiefs this game. We got the MVP. Most likely, he might be a unanimous MVP this year for many people. With the way their defense is playing, with Patty Mahomes, with Travis Kelce, and honestly, really liked what I've seen from their run game as well. Give me the Chiefs in this game. I think this is going to be a close game. I'm going to go like 27-24.
Yeah, I just don't like that. Yeah, Travis Kelce's good enough to take over a game. It's like, yeah, sure, but so is Jamar Chase. And the Bengals are better this year than they were last year. They've definitely fumbled out of the gate, but they did last year as well. And they're a second half team. Their offensive line is starting to run block a lot better. Their offensive line has started to play a lot better of late. Joe Burrow hasn't been rushed as much. He's had more time in the pocket. And then I've seen Joe Burrow start to make plays with the unknowns like Tom Brady did, where some receiver you've never heard of comes in, then he makes a ridiculous catch off a perfectly thrown ball by Joe Burrow. Then you see Higgins and Boyd start to go off. You throw Jamar Chase back into that, who they're not going to miss a beat. I mean, Jamar Chase is only going to come back when he's ready to play, and I think the Bengals played it perfectly, sitting him out the amount of time they did, where it's like Joe Burrow stared them down twice at home on the road. Down 21-3, stared down the Chiefs, and he said, no. He's like, I'm not afraid of you. And he beat them twice, hasn't lost to them in his career. And then Zach Wilson not Zach Wilson, Zach Taylor showed enough stones in that Chiefs game where even when they were down, their strategy to flip the script on them worked. They found a formula to kind of beat the Chiefs. They kind of figured them out. So it's like, I get it, but they still beat them with Tyreek Hill. And you subtract that, and when it's just Travis Kelce you need to focus on, I feel like the Bengals are going to come up on top at the end of the day. It's like, I get that argument, but at the same time, it's like I can say the exact same thing about the Bengals. And I think home field is going to make a huge difference too.